Good morning, and welcome to episode 5 of the Integrating Jewel. It's Friday morning, and I have my hat on still because it's a wintry day in the middle of April. And today we have some special guests with us today. Uh, some of the greatest loves of my life are with us today. Debbie is here seated next to me, and you can't see her, but between us is one of our two uh, mini golden doodle puppies, Annie. She's here with us, supporting us as well, and our other golden doodle puppy is in the next room, lounging on the couch, Henry. Um, so it's good to be with you, and good for them to be with us today um, as we continue on our quest for love, our quest to return to love, um, as we practice loving ourselves well, loving one another well, and loving the earth and creation and our living spaces around us well. And as we receive the gifts of wisdom, the jewels of wisdom from different faith traditions and perspectives. So I invite you to take a few moments and to settle into this moment. And we do that by simply breathing, and just by taking in a deep, full breaths, holding them for maybe a few brief moments, and then releasing those breaths fully at a pace that feels good for you. And as we breathe in, we can let go of all that has been before this moment and all that is to come. And we can simply settle in and rest into whatever is present now. We can notice our thoughts, we can notice our bodies, and we can just settle into what is with a tender, gentle acceptance, and breathe in love and let all else go. When we come home to this moment, we come home to our bodies seated as they are in this space, in this time, in this place, with compassion, with tenderness, with acceptance, with love. And I invite you to continue to follow the breath, and to be present here in your body in this time as we open our ears, our minds, our hearts, our very beings to receive the gifts of grace, the jewels of wisdom, of love from the various traditions this day. So, our first jewel today comes from the Christian scriptures, again from the Song of Solomon, beginning with the 5th chapter, the 9th verse, and continuing through the 3rd verse of the 6th chapter. Love poem, if you will. And I invite you, as you hear these words that Debbie will share with us, I invite you to imagine these words of love being spoken to you from the Holy One, from your beloved, from our beloved, from the divine, from God, from Song of Solomon.
What is your beloved more than another beloved, O fairest among women? What is your beloved more than another beloved, that you thus adjure us? My beloved is all radiant and ruddy, distinguished among 10,000. His head is the finest gold. His locks are wavy, black as a raven. His eyes are like doves beside springs of water. bathed in milk, fitly set. His cheeks are like beds of spices, yielding fragrance. His lips are lilies, distilling liquid myrrh. His arms are rounded gold, set with jewels. His body is ivory work, encrusted with sapphires. His legs are alabaster columns, set upon bases of gold. His appearance is like Lebanon, choice as the cedars. His speech is most sweet, and he is altogether desirable. This is my beloved, and this is my friend, O daughters of Jerusalem. Where has your beloved gone, O fairest among women? Which way has your beloved turned, that we may seek him with you? My beloved has gone down to his garden, to the beds of spices, to pasture his flock in the gardens, and to gather lilies. I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine. He pastures his flock among the lilies.
One of the things that strikes me as we talk about, we hear words of our beloved, of the Holy One, of God, who who fully sees us and fully loves
Mm-hmm.
and fully loves us. Um, there's something really beautiful and healing and transforming about that. And as we imagine and experience God, the Holy One, our beloved, fully seeing and loving us, we can begin to fully see and love ourselves, and
Mm-hmm.
and we can embody that and be that for one another. This is for me the greatest gift of love, a love that sees me, um, including the parts of me that maybe aren't so desirable to be seen,
Mm-hmm.
or that I maybe am ashamed of, or prefer others not to see. But love, the Holy One, love fully sees me and fully loves me. Um, and as we breathe in and sit in that love and feel that love, we can begin to do that and see that for one another.
Right.
A reminder this day that you are fully seen and fully loved, just as you are perfectly made, perfectly imperfect. You are fully seen and you are fully loved, just as you are. What a gift. So, the second jewel of wisdom this day comes from the daily wisdom from the Love, Serve, Remember Foundation. And again, it's a word from the founder, Ram Dass, and it goes like this. Once you understand what awakening is about, every act of your life becomes a vehicle to become aware, and the meaning of life changes. Once you understand what awakening is about, every act of your life becomes a vehicle to become aware, and the meaning of life changes. Any ideas what the heck that means? Once you begin to understand and experience that you are fully seen and fully loved, every act, every part of your life, everything that happens to you and that you do in your life becomes a vehicle and opportunity to be more fully seen and more fully loved. Every act and every experience, every circumstance of your life becomes a vehicle to fully see and fully love others. And as you do this, you may find, as we have, that life doesn't change a whole lot and everything changes and everything is different. The meaning of life changes when you begin to understand that you are fully seen and fully loved. So, our third jewel today comes from the Tao Te Ching, the ancient Chinese uh, tradition. Uh, and so we hear from chapter 54.
Whoever is planted in the Tao will not be rooted up. Whoever embraces the Tao will not slip away. Her name will be held in honor from generation to generation. Let the Tao be present in your life, and you will become genuine. Let it be present in your family, and your family will flourish. Let it be present in your country, and your country will be an example to all countries in the world. Let it be present in the universe, and the universe will sing. How do I know this is true? By looking inside myself.
For those of us that are more accustomed to the Christian perspective and tradition, sometimes it helps, it seems to me, to replace the Tao with God. So listen, whoever is planted in God will not be rooted up. Whoever embraces God will not slip away. Her name will be held in honor from generation to generation. Let God be present in your life and you will become genuine. Let God be present in your family and your family will flourish. Let God be present in your country and your country will be an example to all countries in the world. Let God be present in the universe and the universe will sing. How do I know this is true? By looking inside myself. God's presence in us through each breath, in each moment, the ruach, the Hebrew breath of life, and is that love of God. Whoever is planted in love will not be rooted up. Whoever embraces love will not slip away. Her name will be held in honor from generation to generation. Let love be present in your life, and you will become genuine. Allow yourself to be fully seen and fully loved. Fully see and fully love yourself, and practice fully seeing and fully loving one another, and your life and you will become genuine. Love, let love be present in your family, and your family will flourish. Practice being fully seen and loved and fully seen and loving others in your country, and your country will be an example to all countries in the world, and the universe will sing. How do I know this is true? By looking inside myself. And the invitation here to each of us and to you is not to simply accept the words, wisdom, the jewels that you hear as some sort of ultimate reality or objective truth, but to receive them in your hearts and your beings, and to examine them and to turn inward and to look inside yourself and see what is true and good and right and loving in your own being, in your own heart. That's the quest, returning to love. So we integrate these different jewels, this wisdom of these different faith traditions. On this quest, all that we need, we already possess. You already have within you, and all those things that you need are present in the world around you. So we use what we have. Everything becomes a vehicle to return to love. Everything becomes a vehicle, an opportunity to be fully seen and loved, to offer ourselves as gifts to the world, to be vulnerable, to be open, to be honest, and to practice fully seeing and loving ourselves with no judgment, and to fully seeing and loving one another with no judgment. Our fourth jewel and final jewel this day is our earth prayer this day that comes from Barbara Denning. Is that Deming? Barbara Deming. I'm going to read to you just a brief introduction for her. She was born in 1917 in New York City. She was a feminist, lesbian, poet, writer, and nonviolent activist in the civil rights, anti-war, and women's movements. And so we hear a prayer, an earth prayer from her heart, and we can open our hearts and receive the jewel of wisdom, the jewel of grace and love from her perspective, from her tradition, from her own heart and life experience. And as we end with this prayer, as is our custom, it seems to, we will have a few moments of silence, and we will be on our ways out into the world, into the rest of our lives, to continue our quest in our daily lives. It's been good to be with you today. We will return again on Monday morning at 9 o'clock, live streamed, and then posted after for those who would like to join us and sit with us and practice receiving and integrating these jewels of wisdom from the various faith traditions over the next few days. In these times of uncertainty, as we talk about and imagine what is next for our lives, maybe some of us working through illness or death of loved ones, we offer you great love for whatever it is that you're experiencing and facing in your own life, and we hope that you and your families may be well, that all living beings may be well, and we will return again with you the beginning of next week. Let us pray together.
And this is a favorite prayer of mine because it shows in these days of social distancing how interconnected we really are. Spirit of love that flows against our flesh, sets it trembling, moves across it as across grass, erasing every boundary that we accept, and swings the doors of our lives wide. This is a prayer I sing. Save our perishing earth. Spirit that cracks our single selves. Eyes fall down eyes. Hearts escape through the bars of our ribs to dart into other bodies. Save this earth. The earth is perishing. This is a prayer I sing. Spirit that hears each one of us, hears all that is, listens, listens, hears us out. Inspire us now. Our own pulse beats in every stranger's throat, and also there within the flowered ground beneath our feet. And teach us to listen. We can hear it in water, in wood, and even in stone. We are earth of this earth, and we are bone of its bone. This is a prayer I sing, for we have forgotten this, and so the earth is perishing.